What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sam Dracula channel. I have a very special guest today for today's video, Evan Kent with Bring Back the Buzz. Evan, how you doing?
Good, man. Happy to be on, Sam. I mean, I've watched you blow up here recently, and so it's a privilege to be on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we just cracked 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that's
Nice.
exciting. It's exciting. How you feeling about the Hornets this season?
Man, it's feeling like, the thing we've finally been waiting for. It's been perpetually, we feel like we were a month away from Christmas, and now we're like Christmas week, right? We're coming in, like we're starting to see the progress of and everything that we've been hoping for the years, the light at the end of the tunnel. So it's just, we're finally getting to see some of the gifts, players flourish. So it's been a long time coming, if there's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
And I think, especially in a city like Charlotte, our first love was with the NBA. And you're seeing how just a small little bit of success has just the Hornets being the sixth seed in the East has the city just up in arms and talking about it. Everybody's just Hornets this, Hornets that. So, I mean, it's, the whole thing of Bring Back the Buzz was to get people to stop being so apathetic around the team. And there's a lot of passion going on right now. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, and even like for me and this YouTube channel, I've been really blown away with the amount of interest in the franchise locally and internationally. Like I put out just a call to action to anyone that like is in my Discord or subscribe to my channel. Like, hey, you want to come on the channel and talk about the draft? And I have people from Italy and I have people from UK watching, people from New Zealand on, and they all have their different unique reasons for being a Hornets fan, but they're all kind of drawn to the franchise in their own way. And then now there's like this merger of LaMelo fans and Hornets fans coming together. Sometimes it's like this, especially when the season started. I'm sure you saw it too.
Definitely.
But now it seems, with the unfortunate injuries to Terry and Devonta, we see LaMelo starting, and the tensions have eased up a little bit between the two kind of hives.
That's what winning does, right?
Yeah.
That's what winning does.
But so have you seen the same thing of like the LaMelo diehards and the Hornet diehards kind of like, not being combative, but what have you seen on that front? Just that merger of those two fan bases.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm in the trenches on social media, the Hornets, social media, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It was weird because everybody, if it wasn't for social media, there was a time where I felt like I was the only Bobcat fan.
Yeah.
And without having that connection and without having social media in that community, you felt like you were alone. It felt like it was just me and my brother on an island and nobody else in the city cared about it. Then we started bringing back the buzz and we started finding other people on community, like on social media that were like-minded. So there's been over the past decade, this building of this online social media, Twitter, Instagram, social media family of Hornets fans that have been together and discussing this team for a decade now. Honestly, way ahead of a lot of what other fan bases were doing. So I think a lot of people are shocked that there's this amount of Hornets fans on social media. But we've all battled and argued and had varying opinions on social media for decades now. I mean, for a decade now. So we're used to being, having arguments, disagreement. I mean, like we were arguing about the starting lineup for a team that probably had 20 wins a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So there's some passion there. And then we got this weird experience where it came to Lynn. Jeremy Lin came in. And then we got the Lin fans. And that was kind of our first experience with that kind of fandom, because we never really had any players like that that came in. And it was, I guess, that was a star before they came to the Hornets. Kemba became a star with us, so he was ours. So most Kemba fans were Hornets fans to begin with. But Lin fans came in and they were like, then they started attacking Kemba. Kemba's got to get out of the starting lineup. Jeremy Lin's got to get in. They're making up stats like they had this one stat called hollow assist that used to just crack me up. That Jeremy Lin was just, it was every other player's fault. And then they had all these stats that would defend what he was doing. So we kind of became used to like that kind of dichotomy with another fan base. And so, like, I think the time with Lin's fans made LaMelo's fans kind of like, all right, it's not as bad. And at least we're winning right now. Things are going well. So, no, there definitely was this weird moment where we had to tell LaMelo fans, like, look, what's best for him is what's best for the Hornets.
Yep.
Y'all want to rush the process a little bit. Let's just slow it down. Let's take it easy. And they want to start him 10 games into his career. And I'm like, man, like, let's not force these bad habits. Let's not reinforce things. Let's let development happen. And I think some of the fruit of that development is starting to show a little bit. And they're starting to be like, the fire Borrego comments are kind of dying down a little bit more. He's a bad coach is dying down a little bit, but I think you're right. The past couple of weeks has been one of the, I guess, most joyous times for Hornets fans in decades.
I'm glad more people are paying attention because we're in act one of this franchise's story, and I don't know how the story ends, but it's very exciting to see the beginning stages of it.
Yeah, it was interesting when the agenda gave me a call for that article. I mean, they'd written about Bring Back the Buzz a couple times over the years. They put our events on stuff, but to proactively, talk about the team as if it was something trendy and being fun and people to do in the city. It's a little humorous, but it was good. It's nice to see. There's a small part of me wants to have a little bit of resentment and be like, oh, now you want to hang out with us. But also at the same time, that's what Bring Back the Buzz was all about, man. It was just to get people reinvigorated and re-excited about, the NBA in this town. And if that's what it takes, man, I'd much rather be, I know there are a lot of diehard fans out there that are just, this is so much fun. This is what they've been waiting for. We suffered through a lot in order to get here. So I'm not going to let LaMelo stands ruin this for me, and I'm not going to let bandwagon fans ruin this for me. I'm going to just enjoy the moment and enjoy the ride.
Where do you think the Hornets can head? Like, what's their ceiling this year? And with no roster changes, is.
No. It's interesting. We kind of stumbled upon this a little bit. I don't know how much of this was Mitch by design and Mitch by accident. These things just came together and are doing this well. The fact that we're 6th seed in the East right now, if this team maintains this play, I'd have to see what our second half of season schedule is going to look like. But I don't think the way that it's structured right now, that 6-7 isn't something that, if we play our best, is something that we can do. Now, if we go and get a big man, if we go get a center, I think probably our ceiling at best would be 5. I think we could get up to 5, at this point, depending upon who it is.
Right.
I don't know. Most teams trend up after the All-Star break. I have no idea what that's going to look like this year. Is there actually going to be an uptick in performance by teams? We don't know. We don't even necessarily know what the All-Star break is, what it looks like at this moment. So, anywhere from the 5 to 7, I just really don't want to land in any position that we're up against, like the 76ers. That's really what I just don't want to do that in the playoffs. So, because at this point, unless we go get a big man, they are literally our kryptonite in the league.
How you feeling about Terry this year? I think Terry's the man. Not to lead the witness here, but I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward. The former Celtics are really leading the charge here for the Hornets, and it's been really great to see, especially because when they signed Terry, everyone was clowning it. The Hayward signing, a lot of negativity around that as well. Opinions are opinions, never mad at them, but it's working. It's been working.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I not gonna lie, Batum situation and contracts really made me gun shy a little bit on signing players for a while, and I had to get over that. It just really made me scared of getting back into a relationship. And so the whole Kemba situation, and I never wanted to kind of hold that against Terry, but it definitely changed the feeling around the fan base towards him to a certain degree. And I felt bad for him for a while. And I was not a fan of spending that money. I'm not going to pretend like my opinion of Terry was always correct. I knew he was a decent ball player. Did I think that he was worth that money at the time? I didn't know. And I was probably on the side of saying no. But I just was happy we didn't come out of the Kemba situation completely empty-handed after handling it with him poorly. And, the Celtics kind of threw us a bone with Terry. They didn't have to do that. And I mean, the sign and trade was, I guess it benefited them for a little bit because, I'm not a contract expert, but I believe it gave them an extra year on Kemba, gave them bird rights. But, I didn't think Terry was going to come in and do what he's doing here. But I did see him putting in a ton of work in the offseason. You see a lot of players that could have taken this whole pandemic and the weirdness of the past year and kind of take their foot off the gas and let it be an excuse for them. But I mean, for this team in general, if you watch the videos over the offseason, Terry was the reason these players were getting in the gym. Terry was constantly in the gym. This isn't just like, Terry always had this ability all along, and we're just utilizing that. No. Terry put in the work for this season to be what it is. And for him to go 34, and I think it's 41 last night, like that's a testament to that. That guy is that guy's the truth. And I mean, he's borderline all-star in my opinion.
And each one of those buckets matter. Like, these aren't garbage time minutes. These are clutch buckets, needed buckets in close games. Like, I don't want to even consider the thought of Terry not being with this franchise this season and where.
No, I mean, he's our best two-way player.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's had these clutch shots that's kept us in games. Between him and Gordon, those are our leaders. And I mean, no matter how the young players are exciting, those are the guys that are going to make these players work, that are going to, if one of the younger players starts acting up, be like, yo, this is for real. Like, this is a job and we're going to work hard here. And I commend him for that. I didn't know whether or not what role he was going to play. I mean, I had this vision of who he was as a player, but it came through a filter that was Boston. And I didn't really want to trust that, because Boston's perceptions of players, I mean, I'm watching what they're doing to Kemba right now as a fan base. And so, like, the way they talk about players is not fair.
Right.
And again, what you see through the national media is also not fair as well. So, I mean, it's nice to see him come up like this.
With Bring Back the Buzz in your events, I was curious, with the pandemic, how's that impacted you guys in the events you've been able to host?
It's weird. In some aspects, we've always been somewhat of a digital group. So in some aspects, we've grown, and it's challenged us to a certain degree of how, what does the future of Bring Back the Buzz look like? But we've also had situations like you obviously with We Are Sinclair, and how the Sinclair group basically made it very difficult for Hornets fans to watch. Anybody that was a cord cutter that wanted to stream, if you're not illegally watching on some website, and I know a lot of people are, but there's a lot of people that don't know that route or aren't comfortable with that route, that don't know how to watch the Hornets because they're not going to go back to DirecTV or Spectrum. So, we had this program years ago called Play Charlotte, and it was about getting bars in Charlotte to play Panthers and Bobcats / Hornets games. And it made me revisit that concept. The scale at which I was trying to do it years ago just wasn't feasible. Now I wanted to revisit it, because if I can get places and strategic locations across Charlotte to promise that they'll have the game on for fans. I mean, we've already got places in University, Plaza Midwood, Noda, obviously South End, but I want to make it, available to everybody in every neighborhood. But we want to make it to where fans can watch the games and be around other fans. I mean, it's a little difficult. Obviously, we have to be very specific on the venue because spacing. I mean, we want to do it safe at the same time. We're not just, stacking people on top of each other. We did one watch party. We did it at a business that was basically had 3 different stories and everybody had their own table. And the moment you got up, it was basically like if you were going to a restaurant, but every TV was on a Hornets game and everybody just happened to be wearing the same gear.
Okay. I like it.
So it was, we're trying to find ways around it and to navigate the scene here. But, obviously not having tailgates at Fitzgerald's, and Fitzgerald's not surviving the pandemic right across the street makes it a little difficult. We don't know what that spot's going to be turned into in the future. And do Hornets fans need to find, once the arena opens up, do we have to find another place that we can call our tailgate spot? Because that was just kind of default. At Bring Back the Buzz, we started turning it into a Hornets bar just based off of proximity to the arena. It just made sense. But that was where people just went to have a drink before a game, have a drink after. People It was building the community of Hornets fans, and that's all really what Bring Back the Buzz is about. I mean, yeah, we argue on social media, but like it's all about trying to bring people together, right? I mean, I don't care if you have a difference of opinion. If you want to call me an idiot, that's fine. But at the end of the day, we're talking Hornets,
Yeah.
and that was what it's all about. So, I mean, you know, maybe down the road, and this will be the first time I mention this publicly, but maybe down the road, this turns more into a membership thing. And I want to be able to schedule road trips where fans can buy packages and go to away games together, you know, kind of turn this more into an experience than anything else. Because, I mean, we got an exciting time ahead of us, and I want Hornets fans to be able to get the most out of it. And I mean, the pandemic has kind of hurt us a little bit because we're not able to be in the arena and watch this cool stuff in person.
Right. Yeah.
And those would have been the memories and the moments. We're doing it all digitally. So it's weird. It's a long answer to your short question is, there's a lot of possibilities, and we're just trying to find ways to make it, you know, more enjoyable for Hornets fans, and especially to get around the things that the Hornets organization can't do. There's a lot of red tape that they can't navigate being an NBA team. They can't host watch parties, but little old Evan can. I mean, if I do it right and properly, and I can sleep at night about what I'm doing and how I'm managing it,
Yeah.
then I'm going to do that, because the NBA won't allow the Hornets to do that. So there's a hole there that this pandemic has put that we're trying to fill for people.
Well, I appreciate you spending some time kicking it on the channel. Before we separate here, is there anything else you want to mention that I didn't ask?
No. I just would recommend people to follow Bring Back the Buzz on. So I mean, mostly we do it on Twitter. You know, don't get offended by what we say. A lot of it is a little bit of a gimmick to get people to discuss. It started years ago when the team was very bad and we didn't want people to be apathetic anymore. So I'd rather have people argue about, like I said earlier, what the starting lineup is for a 20-win team than to not be talking about it at all. So, and I'm very happy that like I get to be a little bit more positive now,
Yeah.
Because there's positive things to talk about. But yeah, I mean, the banter's still there, but there's a community online on our platforms, which is great. And I'm excited for potentially what we could do in the future, whether it be watch parties, whether it be tailgating, whether it be, you know, live streams, or whether it be road trips and memberships. We're trying to build something here, and really create like I don't want to be corny or anything, but a family out of this. Again, there's people I've known for a decade now that I've only ever seen through a screen or, you know, been talked through on Twitter handles.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's really cool that we built this together. Now it's just waiting for the day where the pandemic loosens up and we can take it off the screens and back onto the streets a little bit, right? So I mean, just join us, man, and I appreciate you reaching out to me to do this. It's really cool to see these other platforms coming up.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time as well.